Interesting at the top, Ohio State changed quarterbacks. Barrett does the job. They look good. Baylor loses its quarterback to injury. Clemson gets a coach fired at Miami, and LSU moves up, obviously off of their prohibitive victory over Western Kentucky. So it's pretty interesting stuff when you look at the way this top 10 is unfolding as we get closer to the playoffs. LSU, of course, is a big part of that mix. Western Kentucky did some good things on offense, but LSU did a lot of good things on offense. Nice jump cut, nice run. What's new? Straight ahead power for a touchdown. Tigers had great balance in this game, running and passing. Leonard Fournette ran for 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Man, he had a mediocre performance. What's wrong with him, Brian?
Western Kentucky did a pretty good job, but you can't. Look, you know, Brandon Harris, the biggest stat that I've got right there.
That's Tyron Johnson and Warren Easton. His first touchdown as a member of the LSU Tigers. That's great to see.
You know, you got the New Orleans kids, okay, all of them.
Yeah, this gets called back here.
Yeah.
But LSU obviously doing things better overall. Ricky, they're throwing the ball better. Brandon Harris not turning the ball over. It's making plays down the field, and their receivers are doing a good job, and the Tigers win 48-20. So it looks to me, Ricky, like this is a team that gets better every week.
Man, I'm just glad to see Fournette get his 150 yards. I mean, you know, and they got a good offensive line. I mean, you know, a lot of time he didn't really get a lot of licks. I mean, but they didn't play a big-time opponent neither. And I think they played LSU kind of strong at the beginning, but, you know, they prevailed and showed you that they was the better team.
Better on special teams. They still have a few things to iron out. And they had another bust in the secondary, and they can't afford to have that. But now let's look ahead because the Tigers have a bye week, and then it's on to Tuscaloosa to play the Alabama Crimson Tide. 7-1 on the year. Alabama ranked 7th in the country. LSU 7-0. It's a great matchup when you look at it. Alabama's won 4 straight in the series. They've been in control most recently, 4 overtime games, though, since 2005. And that's kind of what you expect with these two teams, is that it's going to be incredibly hard-hitting and close. And Brian, right now, I look at this game and I look at the most critical position. I never thought I'd say this before the season started, but I give LSU an edge at quarterback. Brandon Harris is getting better, and he hasn't turned the ball over. And as a result, I give them an edge at that position.
That's the stat I was going to try and present, is that no INTs from Brandon Harris. 9 touchdown passes, no INTs, 3 rushing touchdowns. Now here's a kid that we were all wondering if he was going to be able to hold on to his job as the season progressed. And look, I think when they end up getting on the field in 2 weeks, Kenny, I think it's going to be Coker and Harris. I think forget about Henry and Fournette. They're going to get their yards. They're going to make their impact on a game. Whoever is the better quarterback that day, that's your winning team.
It's the quarterback and it's special teams, Brian, the kicking game that will decide this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, though, you know, coaching too. You know, Alabama coach, Nick been a great coach, and you're going to have to watch out for him. He's going to have some tricks up his sleeve, but Coker, he can throw the ball deep. I mean, I've been looking at him the way
and he's tough. He's a tough kid.
So
he is.
It's going to be a great game, but Alabama, this will be the only team I'll see that they've been played can match up with them at the defense and offensive line. LSU got a good offensive defensive line, so that's going to be a good match in the trenches this week.
I'm still not sure how good LSU's defense is, although they've gotten Jalen Mills back, which helps, but I'm still not sure how good.
Kenny, that's a great observation because, you know, as you watch LSU play week in, week out, they've gotten such big leads, and it seems like they've relied so much, and rightfully so. You turn and hand the ball to Leonard Fournette if you need some yards or a touchdown and give it to Leonard. But the defense just kind of is lulled to sleep, and sometimes they don't make the plays that they should, and it's allowed teams to hang around. I'll tell you what, the thing that's I find going to be interesting in 2 weeks, and this build-up, it's almost like a Super Bowl right now, you know. My question to you guys on the panel, Alabama loses, they're out of the playoff chase. They're out of the Final Four mix. LSU loses to Alabama. Are they necessarily out of the playoff mix, you think?
Yes.
I think they are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Whoever loses this game is out.
Okay. At this stage of the season, I think
so?
Yeah, it's all about when you lost.
All right, and I think Alabama got 1 goal. I don't think they want Fournette to go over that 100 yards, so I think it's gonna be a good, hard-hitting game.
We'll see. LSU has given up 19 or more points in every game. Their defense hasn't played a 60-minute game yet. They're going to have to in this game. Tulane hit the road, and they played at Annapolis against the Naval Academy and got beat by the midshipmen 31-14. Predictable result. Navy's real good. Tulane's defense held up very well in this game, played hard, played well, and the Tulane offense, well, they moved the ball some but couldn't score, and Tulane's defense held Navy and their vaunted running game in great shape in this game. But look at the turnovers. That'll get you beat every single time. And it only gets tougher. They get unbeaten Memphis coming up next week on the road. 16th ranked in the country. They haven't lost in forever. They got a great quarterback. It's going to be very tough for Tulane. So, Brian, this wasn't a bad performance by Tulane. They play competitive. Their defense plays well every week, it seems, or well enough. Their offense just can't carry its weight.
Yeah, those 3 turnovers in the second half, Kenny, just killed them. And Tanner Lee had been protecting the ball pretty well, and you just can't. Look, you've got to punch that ball in when you're down at the 2-yard line. You cannot lose the ball there. Beating a team like Navy on the road, it's like the 31-14 is predictable, but not how it got to that game.
Yeah, but would you hand it off at the goal line rather than sneak the quarterback?
Yeah, no, you're right, absolutely. I mean, and that's play selection, right? That's play calling there. And
well, and I'll tell you what, not on that, the team that they got coming this week, I looked at them the other day against Ole Miss, and I mean,
he's special.
I mean,
Paxton Lynch is special.
Oh man, they got receivers.
Yes.
I mean,
they have receivers. They got a 6'7" quarterback who's special.
Yeah, man,
that's a number 1 draft pick in the NFL.
Yeah, right,
absolutely.
So, I mean, they got their work cut out for them over there this week, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good team.
Liberty Bowl's
the
a great
American
side.
Athletic Conference is
really good.
They're really good this year.
Oh man,
I mean, they're outstanding. They got 3 top 25 teams. They're going bowling, a lot of those, all of them.
Yeah, Temple's got Notre Dame this week. We'll find out a lot about them. Houston continues to play really well, and obviously Navy's a good team too, as we talked about. So, pretty interesting stuff. High school football, always prevalent on WHNO and Sports NOLA, as it was on the first NBC showcase this past weekend. Big rivalry, standing room only, Riverside St. Charles. Man, how good are the Rebels? Jared Butler special. Their offense has skill all over the field. Their defense is even better. How about a pick 6? Oh my. I mean, listen, this is a Riverside team under Bill Stubbs, who won multiple state championships at Salmon. He's got this team poised for run of the state championship in Division III, Brian.
Well, again, what I liked about it is it's a River Parish rivalry, and when you look at this, I mean, this is a high school kid with that kind of run, with that kind of breakaway speed like that. So, Billy Stubbs is an outstanding coach, Kenny. Outstanding.
Really is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, like Brian said, these cats, I don't know where they get that speed
I know.
from.
They're not getting it from you and me.
I'll tell you that.
Well, Riverside has great 2 sports stars because their basketball team is the best. They're elite, and a lot of those guys play football, and they're football players too, and very good ones at that. And they just get bigger and better every year too, so they're a definitive threat. And St. Charles Catholic, don't sleep on them. They're good. Maybe the best matchup in prep football of the entire season this week. 2 superpowers collide, and they haven't met before, basically, so here it is. It's one everybody's been waiting for. They thought it would happen last year in the Superdome, and Rommel got upset in the semifinals, but here they are. The Rommel Raiders and the John Curtis Patriots. It doesn't get any better than this. 2 Jefferson Parish schools with steep traditions. You can watch it live on WHNO TV 20 at 2 o'clock Saturday. You can watch it live at sportsNOLA.com. Doesn't get any better. Jay Roth is 1 win away from tying Bob Conlon as the all-time winningest coach in Catholic League history. J.T. Curtis is the 2nd winningest coach in the history of the United States. Woo, is this a delicious matchup, Brian?
Kenny, what's great about it is you've got 2 good men coaching these programs,
no doubt.
And outstanding traditions, and this is a trick-or-treat game if you ever want to get one on a Saturday afternoon. Halloween trick.
That's one you want to see.
Well,
That's right.
I think this is the first year to me that Roma is capable of beating these teams. It look like to me Roma got a good team this year.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it. But you know what? We've talked about this. I like the idea that JT, that they moved up and they are playing in that league. That Catholic League is whatever we call it now. That league is unbelievable.
Every week.
Every
it's
week.
Awesome. Games are great. When we return in just a moment, we'll visit with the maestro himself, Troy Duhon of Premier Automotive, as Sports NOLA TV continues on WHNO.